Well, good evening and welcome to Sea Fishing with CJ, live on the beach. Live chat. All right. Welcome to live chat. Hello everybody. Oi. Inglorious Fishing. How you doing, buddy? Bit blurry, isn't it? How's it going? Biting or biting, shall we say? And I've got a live bait stinger rig out now, hoping that I'm going to pick up a whiting on it, which it's nodding just now, so I think I have. And hello, mate. Well, I would like to get anything that isn't a whiting, really, and anything that's bigger than a whiting. So there's a lot of conger around at the moment, so a reasonable sized conger would be nice. Obviously, we live in hope of a cod, but I think it's a fairly forlorn hope. Hi everyone. What baits am I using? Well, I've got half a cuttlefish on one rod, which has actually been out for quite a while now, so I need to wind it in and just see if it's been ragged to bits or not. And I've got a small hook with a little bit of worm on it, which is attached to a bigger hook. The idea that something will come along, eat the little bit of worm, get snagged on the hook, and then be sitting very close to a big hook, so that when conger or whatever is out there comes along and eats a little whiting, it engulfs the hook. It's the plan. Extend this. Managed to do it this morning. I'm trying something different. Always trying something different. It's not very bright, is it? I think I'm going to have to go and get another battery for that. I knew I'd have to. I'm having a battery day today. A battery. Put everything on charge first thing this morning. What I didn't realise was that the power bank that I was charging it all from wasn't charging stuff. So everything was done for not a long enough time. Hi Val. Thanks for joining me. The trouble is I'm trying this on a little tablet and the text is too small. I've probably got a setting I need to change to get the settings right. You should just about see my rods. We're not going to see a lot of activity on here tonight because, as I say, I'm not fishing for whiting really, other than for bait. So I'm hoping that we'll see a big lunging bite, or we won't see anything. Cool. How you doing, mate? Yeah, some of the bloody writing's too small. I can't read it. Let me get a bit closer. Turn the light off. Right, talk amongst yourselves for a minute, because what I've got to do is I've got to go and get a next battery for this, my main light. It's getting a bit dull, so this is going to be in the dark for a bit. That's not too bad, is it? Maybe it's because we're too far away from the rods. Keep it running for a bit longer. So let's move you closer to me so I can read it. Hi, mate. Roger. Yeah, I can't read what she's saying. It's really tiny text. There's another shot, something angling. Should have bought me specs for me, shouldn't I? Really. Yeah, we're fishing down at Langney Point tonight. Just by the at the back of the Poo Palace, really. There's a little car park and a park there. I didn't have any change for the car parking meter, so hopefully I've got a ticket. But no doubt I'll get a letter knowing my luck saying that I owe £100 or something, which turns it into an expensive night. We're going to fish till about 10 o'clock, which is high water. Yeah. So what else is going on in the world? Yeah, I've definitely got a fish on the live bait rig, which is good. It's what we want. So we want a nice little distressed whiting on the end of there, putting out signals into the water, and then big Charlie Conger will come along and woof it down, and hopefully keep on eating until he gets to the hook that's above it. Yeah, it's not as exciting as it was the other night at Hythe, that's for sure. Not much going on. And just so we all know, Jason's down here with me, and here's Jason walking along the beach. How you doing, Jason?
I'm having a good night, mate, to be fair.
What, whiting?
No, I'm having a really good night.
What yeah.
Dogfish of 67.
Oh, right, okay.
Sorry, dogfish of 64. I've just had a pout,
Right.
massive pout,
Oh.
35.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I'm not really fishing for. I mean, I'm surprised I'm not getting dogfish on this half a cuttlefish I've got out here. To be honest,
Mackerel and squid rats getting to me.
Mackerel, squid, rats. But I mean, they take anything.
Yeah.
They just eat everything, don't they, dogfish? Well, I see them, he'll eat anything. I guess. I'm going to wind in my the cuttlefish rig, which it's been out there for a while, just to see if there's any bait on there, because it could have just been robbed away. But all I'm having is whiting. I've had about, I don't know, quite a few. So no, I haven't done a cook up yet. We're making this text bigger, surely. Yeah, it's not very bright. I'm not seeing my rods very well. This is another plan that I had which isn't paying off, and that is to use a tablet rather than a phone. But it don't seem to be working. I think that probably I need to change the batteries on this light. Got a light here, a light there. It's not very bright at the moment, so I'm going to go and get to the van and get a battery. The dog is roaming around with his coat around his neck. So just talk amongst yourselves for a bit, please, guys and girls. Just going up to the van. Come on. Say hello to everybody. There's Billy Bob, come say hello. Obviously won't say hello to me. There's Billy Bob saying hello. Right, excuse me for a minute while I go and get another battery for that light. Bed. I can see my rods now. I have to move that rod rest soon. The waves are coming around the bottom of it. Right, what's going on? No, you can't do it on your phone here, unfortunately. No, you can't do it on your phone. Just a pain in the back butt. That's what I thought. That's why I didn't bring any change. I've had a good day. No, not many watching. Don't blame them. It's not exactly the most exciting of nights on the beach, I have to say. Jason's doing all right. He's had a dogfish and a big pouting. To be honest, I'm not really hoping for little fish. I want to either blank or get something decent. Is the plan. Certainly achieve one or the other. Well, I haven't blanked because I've had some whiting. Half a dozen whiting. But nothing to write home about, and certainly nothing that would be worthy of cooking. I have a cup of tea and a piece of cake. You never know. It all works. There's the tea. I've got the cake. Everyone knows I've got the cake. He's out hovering. He's got a sweet tooth, my dog. He obviously likes yummy yum yums. Yummy yum yums. Look, rocking everything everywhere. Yummy yum yums. Get the lid on the thermal mug. I've filmed for quite a while on that camera. Stop this camera filming for a bit. Yeah, let me get in the bed. Right, we've got a cup of tea in a hand, yummy yum yum in the other hand. So you should get a fish, should get a bite then. That's the theory. Billy Bob, stop begging. Oh, fishy, fishy, fishies. Walk in front of me now. Wait, sit yourself down. Anyway, the dog's warm enough. He's got his coat on. He's not shivering, which is unusual because when he comes down the beach, he shivers. And it is cold. It's about 0. Don't know what the time is. Anybody got a time? Listen to those messages. Read the messages. Good question. When is high tide? I think it's at about 10 o'clock. No, maybe it's earlier than that. Actually, let me have a look on my phone and see if I can get the answer when it's high tide. I got down fishing at 4, and the tide was well and slow. That would mean tide is rising. The next high tide is in 50 minutes. So we've got 50 more minutes of the tide flooding. It is 8:30 now. I'm going to probably fish till the top of the tide, and then we're going to call it a night. So that's what I'm planning for. As you can see, the tide is getting very close to where my tripod is. It's a big tide. It's a bigger tide. So the bank that my tripod is where the top of the tide would have been last high tide. So in theory, it's going to come a bit higher than that. I might have to move, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll start hearing the shingle rattling against my tripod sticks, then I know it's time to move. Hey Jay, Stuart, Martin, Ross. God blimey, CJ, it's a bit cold, isn't it? Must be close to snowing. Well, I was up in the Midlands yesterday and we did get a bit of sleep. But we don't tend to get much snow down here. Probably because we're on the south coast and just that little bit warmer during. I mean, we do get snow, but we don't get as much as they do up in the north. It is a bit cold, but actually, I'm not feeling cold. I'm all right. I've got an electric hand warmer in my tummy pocket of my hoodie, and it's keeping me nice and toasty. Sorry if I'm not calling out your names, guys and girls, but for some reason the text is really small on this. I can see what you're saying, but I'm finding it very hard to read your names. So apologies for that. That's why I've been calling out people that other people are saying hi to. So because I can read that, but I can't read the name. Oh, you know. Electric hand warmers. Damn, I used to have a zip. Oh yeah, that would constantly blow out. Mate, the electric ones are the nuts. Let me show you this. It was about 30 quid. But that's it there. It is really warm. Plug it in. charges up. It also is a battery, so it's a power pack, so you can use it for charging up your phones and stuff like that as well. It's not fully charged, so it's only on one. You can see the little red light. It's only on one kind of bar of heat at the moment, but it's nice and warm. And you know, when you've been out and you've been baiting up and stuff like that, wipe your hands off, come and put your hands on that, and it just toasts them back up again. It's lovely. Yeah, I've messed around with the Zippo ones. You either can't light the bloody things, or they go out, or they get too hot. Yeah, this is the 21st century version of that USB hand warmer. I normally carry more than one because got up to 2 bars now. Oh, got up to 3 bars. I don't know why I couldn't do that before. Let's see how hot this gets now. So it's on 3 lights now, as you can see. So that means it should get quite hot. We'll see. And it's a 10,000 giggly bit bloody battery. So it's meant to last for a good session. The old ones I used to have, which, well, I've still got, which are these ones, which is my backup. They only last about half a session. That's why I used to carry 2. So by the end of as this one started to cool down, I switched the other one on. But they were cheap and they're good. They're good, but you do need 2 of them. Oh, this is getting proper warm now. The one that's switched on 3 bars. Proper warm. Come on, let's have a big lunging bite. I mean, I could go back and I could put small hooks and small baits out and be plagued by whiting, catch loads of whiting, but I want to catch something decent. I think that's perhaps what I might do this season, this winter, is hold out for the big one. Maybe catch a couple of small ones to start the night, so it's not a blank, and then put on a bigger bait. I mean, I have to say that I've got half a cuttlefish on there, and it wasn't a small cuttlefish. It wasn't a tiny little cuttlefish. It was an adolescent, shall we say. And I did catch a whiting that was about the same size as the bait earlier on. So you will catch smaller fish on big baits. So to bring in my stinger and see, I'm not seeing any activity on it for a while. I got all excited earlier on because it started bouncing up and down, but it was because it swung crossing the tide and Jason had snagged it winding in, and so it was him. So it wasn't a fish. Oh, what's happening in the message world? Oh, hello. Hey mate, thanks very much for that. Chris, I just ordered one of those today for my wife after watching your last. Yeah, they are good. Yeah, they are good. Bob. Just while I'm reading this, keep an eye on my rods, guys. If you suddenly see me biting, start telling me I've got a bite. USB hand warmers sound like a good option for those cold days. Nights. Yeah, definitely. And they're not. I mean, look, the other thing about those Zippo ones, they had like a cloth cover on them. So you imagine you've got spishy, slimy hands on it. That would turn manky very quickly because you're cooking it essentially. Whereas these they're plastic, so they wipe off. Yeah. What? What's that? Sorry. What? Well, Wharfdale fishing, hello mate. 7:30 is the way to go. I don't know what it is. We'll have a look. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's not an exciting. I'm not getting the rods aren't rattling and banging. I could put small hooks on and I'd be getting rattling bites all the time. But it's not the desired option tonight. It's a all or nothing night. Now, on Monday I went out and fished at Hive, and as you know, I did a live. If you were here for the live, I was also videoing, and I had it all planned out. I was going to do a really good edited video. And then the last time I tried to switch the camera on, it started making strange noises, sort of beeps instead of going beep beep beep. When I got home, the computer said no, there was nothing on the memory card, which is rubbish because it had been filming all night. It was showing 118 gigabytes of stuff on the memory, but there were no files. So I've just spent all week, and I've probably spent over £100 on software trying to recover the files from that. It's really annoying. Really annoying. But, you know, this is the price you pay for the hobby that I've got, which is fishing and YouTubing. Oh yeah, no, it's those disposable hand warmers. Well, I mean, they're exactly that. They're single use, disposable, so they're not exactly saving the planet either. I mean, they don't last forever. Of the two that I used to use, one of them doesn't charge. Well, charges up, but doesn't give off any heat. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm gonna have another play with it, and then it's going to go in the bin, I think. But and of course, the other thing is, as I've said, is they are a battery bank. So if your headlight, my headlight ran out just now, and I had to charge it on a battery bank. I've got a couple of battery banks with me, but there have been nights when everything's running flat. I've got one battery bank which is nearly flat as well. I could use my hand warmers to charge stuff up, which is great. It's a real bonus. And when I first got them, I got cheap and small ones. Now I know the value of them. I've purchased one that's got a lot more power and a lot more memory. So far, well, it's getting well hot. Lovely and warm. Toasty. And it's not just for hand warmers. As I say, you put them in your pocket and they just keep you warm. I had the drone up tonight before it got dark, so I've got some drone footage that I'm going to put into the edited video. There will be in it. Well, I intend there to be an edited video from tonight. Oh, hello. That right-hand rod, which is my stinger rod, just had a little rattly bite on it, which hopefully means I've picked up a white one. So let's hope that sits around there and draws in something a bit more exciting. A bit more exciting than a whiting. I think there might be a competition going on because there's an awful lot of lights down the beach. Just to show the world where we are, because you can see this. So if you look in the background, you can see Eastbourne, but if you look along the beach, you can't see them all, because not everyone's got big lights, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 10 people fishing down there. So it's either a comp or just the word has gone out that the fishing is good. Well, actually, not great tonight. I spoke to Glyn at Angler's Den on my way here when I went and got my bait, and he reckoned last night they had a cracking night in the comp. Over 100 dogfish, congers, decent sized congers, whiting coming in, half bitten in half by conger eels. Yeah, cracking night. I wasn't here, it was a little bit east of here, but not far away. But it's not really doing well at all. Rich and Leo, as I say, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not able to shout out your names because I can't bloody read them. It's too small. It's tiny print. I can see when people say Rich and Leo. I know Val's here. Rich and Leo, all right. How's things, Rich and Leo? Well, Rich, it's not exactly going crazy tonight. As I've been saying, I think I could probably catch loads of whiting if I wanted to, but I'm trying to avoid them a bit. I have had half a dozen or so. I'm now fishing with half a cuttlefish on one rod, which I notice is now drifted towards this groin. I hope I'm not going to get snagged on the groin. And I've got a stinger rig on the other one, which is a tiny little hook attached to a bigger hook with a little bit of worm on it, with the idea that I'm going to catch a whiting and then something's going to come along and eat the whiting. Ooh. The rod that's got the cuttlefish on just had a little bit of a lunge then. Now I did get some little knocks on it earlier on, and when I wound it in, there was a whiting on there that was no bigger than the bait. I think I'm going to have to bring that rod in anyway because it seems to have drifted to the right a bit, and I don't want to get snagged on the groin. So let's go and wind that in. Let's put this back down. Talk amongst yourselves for a little while there, guys and girls. Yeah, that's definitely going round to the right, so I need to get that out of there before it gets snagged on the groin. is the bait. This is a stinger rig. Put this one as well. This is the stinger rig. You see that there's a little whiting that's gorged itself on the stinger hook, and then above the whiting is a reasonable sized circle hook. The idea being that a conger comes along, walks down the whiting, and then gets hooked on the bigger hook. So that's the plan. Yeah, we brought it in because the tide is starting to flow the other way now, and I was going to get swept around the groin. I didn't want to get snagged in the groin. So we'll stop filming for a minute. Change this bait and get this back out there. is one mucky bait. Look at the state of my hands. Conservation is key. No, well, them huge trawlers, and they will just wipe out the fish. Hey Carl, how you doing? Keith. Wolfdale. Yeah, bass have to be returned now. Well, sportfish bass. I'm not sure what commercials are up to. They're probably not allowed to catch any either. The big trawlers aren't allowed to go hunting for bass. It's demersal trawling or hook and line only. Whatever that means. Yeah, I mean, all of the trawler fleet from New Haven virtually is gone now. There's about 3 or 4 trawlers left. It used to be that you'd look out off New Haven or Seaford any given evening, and all you would see was beam trawlers going up and down, up and down, up and down. The big industrial trawlers are further out to sea. But of course we've got a big wind farm off Brighton now. which I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to take a big trawler through there. So that's got to improve the fish stocks as well. And then hopefully, eventually, once we manage to get the fisheries policy, now we've left Europe, it will reduce the amount of trawling. They are talking about spending a lot of money in New Haven to try and get the fishing fleet back. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. Oh, that was interesting. Might have just been a wave hitting my tripod. Yeah, just starting to get a bit of water coming over the top. I'm not sure how much tide we've got left. Can't be much more flood. Surely it's got to be about the top of it. It's crazy, the limit. Hey mate, you're not limited to 2 bass sessions. You're not allowed to catch any bass at the moment from the 1st of December. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what that is? Hook and line or demersal trawling from they can land so many ton each year. I mean, I was speaking to a commercial bass angler a while ago. We weren't arguing, but he made a few relevant points, and one is it's his livelihood. Fair enough. 2, that they kind of police it. So, because there are a lot of people out there illegally commercially catching bass or undersized bass, they do keep an eye open for that, and they will report them to the fisheries. But yeah, it seems a bit daft. I think that when they first talked about limiting bass, they asked the World Sea Fishing Forum or whatever, how many people were fishing for bass each year, sport fishermen, and they told them like thousands, because there are thousands of people who would like to catch a bass, but not many of them do. It would have been better, the question is how many people are actually catching bass on hook and line for sport, because that would have been a more appropriate number to base the quotas on, because there's a lot of people who would like to catch a bass and they go fishing for bass, but they've never ever caught one. So I don't know. There's nothing to stop you catching them, putting them back, catching them for sport. I kind of got sick of catching bass, to be honest. Not that I was catching hundreds and hundreds, but I was going out looking for bass constantly, to the detriment of everything else. Right, so that's my live bait rod that is banging away there, which is a good sign that I've got a live bait on there. So I've got a whiting hooked on there. Let's leave him rattling around and wait for that great lunging bite, which means I've got something a bit more sexy. My left hand rod is definitely crossing the groin, so I'm not sure how I'm going to wind that in. Might have to climb up, fish from the other side of the groin. It's a long way out, so maybe if I stand a bit further down the beach and wind it, it'll bring it across the end of the groin. So anyway, I saw it on the screen. I saw the rod bounce on the screen. I didn't see it. I was looking at the screen, so I didn't see which rod it was. Right, I've got a sausage roll to eat. I'm sure me and Billy Bob will appreciate a mouthful of it as well. So let's break open the sausage roll. Sausage roll. Dog's woken up. Billy Bob, yeah. Let's put some light on so you can see Billy Bob. Yeah, Billy Bob. Have some sausage roll. So he's in his bait bucket, in his coat, sitting on my coat. So I don't get a coat tonight because he's sitting on it. That's the noise of the dog saying he wants some more sausage roll. Oh, the way he's just nearly washing the towel away. Right, 6 minutes to high tide. I'm going to go and rescue my towel. Actually, it might be a bit more than 6 minutes because I'm looking at the tide for New Haven. So the tide here in Eastbourne will be a little bit later. Sovereign Harbour, which is right next to us. Next high tide in 6 minutes. 21:23 GMT. So we've got 6 more minutes of the tide, and then we'll fish it a little bit on the ebb, and then it's go home. Pack up, go home. I think. I wonder how Jason's doing. Let's have a walk down and say hello to Jason. Come on, people. Come with me. We're going to walk down and see Jason. There's his little tent. Sat up there.
How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, come and say hello.
Hello.
Whoa,
That's a nice one, isn't it?
that's a big pouting for the beach, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
It's a nice fish, isn't it?
yeah,
Nice fish. Nice dog fish as well.
yeah, right.
Big one, isn't it?
Oh, right, that's a sizable doggy for off the beach, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Nice fish of that, isn't it?
Ah, yeah, all I've been getting is whiting, and then even when I stop fishing for whiting, I'm catching whiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wound my my stinger rod in just now, and there was a whiting on it. Shouldn't have wound it in.
I've got a sliding whiting.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, just lifted it up and it's gone out.
Yeah.
On this side, I've just been fishing small size 2 hooks.
Yeah.
Out as far as I can get them, really.
Yeah, I mean, I started out with a 3-hook paternoster with smaller hooks on it, but I was just getting plagued with whiting, so I stopped.
Don't get me wrong, yeah, I was beating the tyres, a lot of whiting out there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can there's some whiting on there now, and they're rattling away.
It's a good time now. If you've got some old bait, you just want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Go for some fishing. This is the time to do it. I mean, all I'm using is literally just tiny pieces of mackerel. Probably about that big, not even that.
What's that?
All I'm using is just tiny little squares of mackerel.
Oh right, okay. Yeah. As I say, I've caught quite a lot of dogfish and quite a lot of whiting so far this year, so I'm kind of I'd rather blank, to be honest, than catch thousands and thousands of whiting, because to be honest, they don't survive, do they? No matter how careful you are with them, they don't survive. They can be a nuisance. I mean, if we start getting a run of decent size whiting, then I will come and I'll do a catch and cook on the beach. But last year I kept bringing the gear down to do it and never got any, or I get caught the decent whiting right at the end of the night. You go, well, I'm not going to cook now. I've got an idea of doing it in like pancetta, rolling them in a bit of ham and frying them. Yeah, that's what my plan is. Yeah.
Biggest white I had tonight, 36.
All right. I mean, to be honest, because I don't measure the lengths of them, and I can't think in centimetres anyway. 36 is quite good. What's that in inches? About 15 inches.
It's definitely a nice fish.
About 15.
28 size, 27 size.
Yeah.
It's definitely way above that.
What time are you fishing to tonight?
Huh?
What time are you fishing till?
I'm going to get about another 20 minutes and then I'm going to pack up, I think.
Yeah,
Quite
it's
a
about
lot.
the same for me, to be honest. The top of the tide's in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'll probably fish it to the top of the tide, maybe about 10 or 20 minutes out. I might whack
Yeah.
a big bait out for the last bit
Yeah.
on one rod, and then I think
Yeah.
it's going to be the night for me. We've had a nice fish.
Yeah. I mean, weird for me, I always used to fish the flood because I always thought that was the best time to fish. But for some reason, the last couple of years, I seem to catch more on the ebb than I do on the flood. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I never used to fish the ebb before. I only always used to fish the flood, and so it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I like to do 2 hours. Usually,
Yeah.
when I fish 2 hours up, 2 hours out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Over the top of the tide. But...
And it means you haven't got to move. I mean, I set up at the top here. I was having to walk all the way down the beach at the start of the session, which was a pain. But it was that, or I have to move, and I couldn't be bothered to move. So no. Well, I mean, I was down here at 4:30. No, 4:15. Yeah. When I was here for the sunset. But I'm going back. No, nothing personal. But I'm bloody cold here. Yeah. Come on. Woo! Look at that. Hey, squid jig. Thank you very much. Something for the tackle box. I just went to walk down to have a word with Jason, see how quite a good nick. So I'll definitely put that one into my tackle box. Yeah. So, as you remember, I do like to clean up the beaches for tackle, but that is not rubbish. That's a good squid dig. So, take that. Right, I saw that they say about clean up. Place to clean up the beach there, mate. Yeah. Yeah, certainly does. As I say, back in the day, I used to live right next to the beach at Seafood, and I never bought weights because I was always finding them walking down the beach. And if they were worn out or tired, then I just melt them down and make weights for them. But yeah, you do need to walk these beaches. You need to clean up when you're down here. Unfortunately, I got here a little bit late to do it, really, because you've got doggy walkers down here. You don't want a dog to get hooked up or eat a bait with a hook in it. It just gets us a bad name. Trying to get us to stand up. Standing up. Well, it's getting near to the end of the session. I would think it's slack water, just about. What are you doing, Billy Bob? You're going to get cold standing out there. Come and sit in the warm. The warmer. Well, as I say, I'm sorry it's not been a particularly exciting night. But it was good to get out and film the drone. Good. I've got a little bit of coffee left, I think, a little bit of tea rather than drinking coffee. Tea. So I'll get the last things of the tea. Ooh, it's only a little dribble. Cold tea in the cup. There. You tell it's cold tonight because my frozen bakes, most of them haven't defrosted. They're still frozen, which is handy because they'll just go straight in the freezer. Come on, in your bed. Come on, in here. Come on, in here. In here. Come on, in here. Oh, you don't want tea, do you? Come on, in here. Come on, in here. Come on, you'll get cold. Come on, in here. Well, come on, get in the bed. In the bed. That's it. Right, well, as I say, it's getting to the end of the session. There's not a great deal happening now. So I'm going to start packing away. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say good night to you all. Thank you very much for joining me on this adventure. If you haven't done so already, can you give me a thumbs up? 24 thumbs up. It's very good. I managed 66 on the last session. That's my record, I think. I still aspire to crack the 100. So if you haven't given me a thumbs up yet, please could you do me one? Yes, it's great to see you out on awesome live. Right, thank you. That's very nice of you to say that. I don't know what makes an awesome live. I've learned that pointing the camera so that you can see the rods rather than my ugly mug seems to be more popular. On Monday I was out and it was busy. Yeah, thanks very much for joining the stream. I will leave the stream up, but once I've edited the film, I will take the stream down and the edited film will take place of it. I would have taken the stream down from Hive, but as I said, I had a technical fault and I didn't have any video to edit. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the little bits I have got. I might turn it into a John Darling episode of Fishing Marks. Yeah. So good night to you all. God bless. Keep fishing. Stay sane. Stay safe. Stay sane. You know, this COVID thing ain't gone away. I think we're going to have another bad spell of it. Just keeps going on and on and on. It's the virus that keeps on giving, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a little bit more time on my hands now because, whoa, the wave came right over the top of the bank then. Look, here we go, look, you see him right underneath my rod rest. I always reckon that when the tide changes, you get like 3 big waves. And I wonder if those were the 3 big waves or one of the 3 big waves. The tide will start ebbing then. The dog has come out of his bed. He's out in the cold. You're not gonna enjoy it out here, mate. You're gonna get cold. Yeah. Anyway, I said I'm going. I am going. So, thanks very much. Let's turn this around so you can see me. Turn this off. Just put the light on some short. Some light there. Turn this light off. Got me trapper hat on. Keep my ears nice and toasty. You always know when it's winter because I break out the furry hats. Yeah, so guys and gals, thank you very much for joining me on this adventure on this cold night on the south coast of England. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.